Alright YouTube, it's Deck of the Month time. First off, I'd just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. It's that time of year, and yeah, so this is going to be Deck of the Month 2011 for January. This is Fables, alright? So this is going to be my Fable deck that I have been playing, and I found it to be the most consistent build, so here we go. We start off to build 3 trickies. You gotta play 3 of these. Great for the special summon ability and allows you to get level 8s really quick. So Kashano, this level 8, bam, Merry Christmas. Alright, that's it. Next we got 3 Raven, Seal Boss Tuner, Pump Up, Ditch cards, gain levels, gain attack. Most of the time you're just going to ditch to gain effects, sync, all that good stuff. Run Fable Raven at 3. We got the 3 Grimrose. Gotta play this at 3. This is your Searcher. And this is what's going to pretty much start your big play. So, yeah, you get a Raven on the field. You you ditch your Kashano or whatever. And you play Fable Raven from your hand. Search your deck. And most likely you're going to be getting these guys. This little girl right here, Fable Cruz. Cruz is broken. Cruz is so broken that you gotta run this at 3. It's so good. Ditch this from your hand to the graveyard any means possible. Special summon one from the grave. So in essence, this is like 3 Monster Reborns right here. This card's broken. That has to be like the best card in the deck. MVP by far. We got the 3 Kushanos. Again, another big card, probably second best to Cruz. This one is works from your graveyard, so whenever this is in the grave, you can ditch a fabled monster from your hand to the grave to bring this back to your hand. Why is that good? Well, that's good because if you have a Cruz, you can pretty much get a lot of effects off. So you special summon with Cruz, you can summon this on the field and pretty much, do whatever you want to do from there. Sync, whatever. 1 Lurie. I don't like more than this. I played this at 2. I didn't like it. This card's good for ditching, getting special summons. Instead of syncing for level 7, you sync for level 8, and so on. It's also a great scrap dragon target, so yeah. But other than that, I don't want to run this at more than 1. It's to me it was dead, and you can always recycle this later on with a Pot of Avarice. So 1 Galabus. Alright, this card is, believe it or not, it's a boss monster against Blackwings. Blackwing monsters I don't think any of them besides like Mistral have a defense of greater than 1500. So this guy is like really broken against them. Blackwing player swarmed the field on me. I summoned this next turn, and I pretty much just killed him after that. So yeah, Galabus is good. Run it at 1 though. If you run it at more than 1, it might be dead. So just to let you guys know. Alright, 2 Fabled Ruby Ruda. We're gonna get away from the Fiends for a sec. This is a beast type. Level 4 tuner, which is awesome in the deck, and I don't really worry about his not going to use his effect much, where he can stop an attack by just discarding a Fabled from your hand, so he stays on the field. But really I use him for this guy, Summoner Monk. I have a tendency to draw this before I draw Summoner Monk, which is why I play 2 of these instead of 1, because a lot of people just play 1. So that way, even if I draw this, I can still get this later, and I still have 1 in the deck. And then you know what happens from there. You summon Summoner Monk, ditch a spell, get this guy sync for level 8, and then have a nice day. So that's pretty much, that's how that works. And the last monster of the deck, we run Double Honest, and you run lights. So in order to turn these guys, a lot of these guys are small attackers. The only big one is Grimro at 1700. So in order to get these guys to stay on the field, you need some protection from the hand, and Honest is the best protection. So you run 2 of those. Alright, that's the monster lineup. 22 monsters. Let's go on to the spells. We got one pot of duality, just draw power, you know, all that good stuff. We got 3 Dark World dealings, and this card is awesome in the deck. This is your draw engine, this is your ditch engine, and on top of that, it messes up your opponent, because occasionally your opponent will have those hands that are just too good to be true. This card just completely screws it up. So I mean, unless you're playing plants, this card's really good. Alright, we got the staples: Dark Hole, Monster Reborn. We got Double Book of Moon, and those are all staples in my opinion. Mind Control. You do run a lot of tuners. You run the 3 Raven, the 2 Ruby Ruta, and the 3 Kushanos. So that's a total of 8 tuners. And let me tell you, Kushano can come back from the grave pretty much any time you want. So why not run Mind Control? It's broken in the deck. You know, Kushano, you ditch a card, Kushano comes back to your hand, you Mind Control their monster, you take it, you sync with Kushano, and pretty much call that a game. Could you imagine if Gale could keep coming back from the graveyard? Wouldn't that be like totally broken? Well, Kushano can do it, so abuse it. Double Pot of Avarice, and Pot of Avarice is great in the deck. I don't want to run this at 3 because I tried it at 3. I tried this build lots of different ways. I even tried Fabled OTK with the you know, what's that flip effect monster called? Merchant, Magical Merchant. I didn't like it. I drew way dead with it, so I decided that's not the way to go. Double Pot of Avarice, really good in the deck. Yeah, lets you recycle your stuff. Double MST and Trunade, you need back row. Back row gives this deck a lot of problems, so you gotta really, you know, run as much as you can. Cold Wave, I didn't like it in the deck because in order to start some plays, I needed to play like some spells or traps, and with Cold Wave on the field, it kind of messed me up. So that's why I don't play that. All right, trap cards only run 4. I run double Phoenix Wing Blast. This card's great. Top decks one of your opponent's cards, so it pretty much makes it dead, and you get to ditch a Fabled, so you got an effect. Overall, excellent card. Karma Cut. Wow, this card's good. I actually thought before that this card wasn't that good, and in certain decks it works really well. It works well in plants, and it works extremely well in this deck because you ditch, you remove the monster on the field and any copies of it in the graveyard, and you get to ditch a Fabled and get some effects off. So Karma Cut works really good, gets rid of those annoying Stardust Dragons. If a Dandelions face up on the field, oh god, that's just going to make your opponent surrender. So Karma Cut's nice. And 1 Beckoning Light. This is the reason why I don't run that 3rd Pot of Avarice, because Beckoning Light can actually work for you way better. Even, like, let's just say, I mean, you should always have lots of monsters in the grave, but even if you didn't, and you didn't have a hand, you can just play this with like 2 cards or whatever, get back like a Cruise, send something else, and work from there. So that's really, really nice. Okay, so that's the main deck. Now I'm gonna go to the extra deck first. So we start off with Cataster, and sorry, I said Cataster. Armory Arm. The reason why I run Armory Arm is pretty simple. A lot of times I would, you know, ditch Lurie to get Kushano back to my hand, then I wouldn't have anything else to summon, so it's good to, you know, just summon the Kushano with the Lurie, get the Armory Arm, and of course if you get, you know, if you draw this guy Honest, then it works, because remember, Armory Arm's a light, so that's really good. We got Cataster as a staple. We got your best level 5 in the deck, Fable Rajan, and let me tell you guys, the level 5 2300 attack, and to make this guy really, really, really worth it, you gotta have like no cards in your hand, because this guy's a draw engine in himself. Let me explain. When he's synchro summoned, depending on how many cards you have, you draw cards until you have 2. So if you have 1, you draw 1. If you have none, you draw 2. So pretty much this is like a pot of greed in a monster. This is like so broken. So what you want to do is every time you're going to sync for him, if you have like Giant Trunade and stuff that you wouldn't normally set, just set everything, sync for this guy, and then bam, draw 2 cards. And you can keep doing it. So it's a really nice draw engine. Got the Goyo, the Bryonic. we got level 7s. Now level 7s is key to this deck. We got the Black Rose in case you need to blow up the field, Ancient Sacred Wyvern, and this card is so good in the deck. First off, you need light monsters to sink it, and guess what? The entire deck is light monsters. So level 7s are really easy to get, and if you get a life point advantage in the game, then you just boost him up. And then with Honest, this guy is like the ultimate boss monster. So yeah, that's really good. And Chaos King Archfiend, and this guy is broken. Basically, you need a Fiend type tuner, which you have lots of them in the deck, and you just sink a level 7 for this guy, and when he attacks, right, all your opponent's monsters get their attack and defense flipped. So if you say your opponent has a dark arm dragon on the field with the big 2800 attack, you summon this guy, you attack, that 2800 goes to his defense, and 1000 goes to his attack. So that's crazy. This guy is really, really good. One Chimera Tech, just because you have to run that. Stardust Dragon, same thing. Scrap Dragon, really good with the Lure play. You especially first turn, because first turn you can get this guy depending on what you have in your hand. You can ditch Lure, special summon the Tricky, summon Kushano, get this guy, have the Lure as a target to destroy one, so that works really good. Fabled Valkyrius, again, another monster with great effect. Really like his effect. You special summon him, you can ditch a Fable to draw a card. So basically you ditch a Fable and you get the effects off, whatever the effect is, and then you draw one. So, and then 2900 attack, hardly any synchros are getting over that, so that's really good. We got the Mistworm just to clear out the back rows, really nice card. And Fabled Leviathan, level 10 synchro, 3000 attack. Just to let you guys know, easy way to get him is if your opponent summons synchros like a Stardust or Colossal, you just mind control it with a Fabled Raven, and then bam, you get this guy. Now, just so you guys know, when he gets destroyed, you get to add 3 Fabled cards from your graveyard back to your hand. He counts, so when he gets destroyed, he's in the graveyard, so you can bring him back, recycle him, put him back in the extra deck, and get 2 other Fables back to your hand. One thing you guys gotta know, the effect to get three Fables back is not mandatory. It's optional. It's an optional effect. So depending on how he got killed, if other stuff happens, you'll miss the timing and you won't be able to activate the effect. So just for you guys to know, alright? Alright, cool. So that's the synchros. Let's go to the extra deck. Extra deck, we got one Ancient Fairy Dragon. And I don't main synchro deck this because you're only going to need it for Gravekeepers, so it's in the side deck. We got double Cyber Dragon. You guys know what this is about already. Machinas. One Thunder King, just to stop their Dark Soul searches, just from drawing with Pot of Duality, stuff like that. DD Crow from removal. Skullmeister. Skullmeister is pretty much like a Thunder King and DD Crow all in one. This guy's so good. That's why I'm citing one of those. Effect Veiler. If the Fable deck takes off, then I'm pretty sure that people will start main decking Effect Veiler, just because it's a light monster, and I mean the effect is so good, so why not, right? Effect Veiler. Gen X Ally Duradark. Again, great against Blackwing decks. They summon that Dark Arm. Bam, you summon this guy, you destroy Dark Arm for free. That's really, really good. One Dark Core. You get to remove from player monsters, so that Stardust on the field, you can play this, remove the Stardust, and ditch a card to get an effect. Really good in this deck. Nobleman for plants. This is deck of the month for January 2011, so you know that come February, this is going to be Rise of the Six Samurai, so you got to play this card, Warrior Elimination. This is going to clear your opponent's field of all their warrior type monsters. Everybody's going to be siding this. Everybody and their mother is going to be siding this card right here. Warrior Elimination. Get your copies now. Lightning Vortex. Just good for swarm decks like Lightsworn, Blackwings, stuff like that. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for the Gravekeeper Blackwing matchup. And last, Starlight Road, and this is for the Blackwing matchup mostly, maybe Lightsworn, stuff like that. So yeah. that was the deck of the month, January 2011. That's my Fable build. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, YouTube, peace.